Welcome back to Cooking with Glenn and Katie.
It's blueberry season, and today I'm going to be making some blueberry dessert rolls.
They're absolutely delicious, and we can't wait to share the recipe with you. So, you ready to get started?
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
To start, I'm going to add 1 1/3 cups of warm water. I put this in the microwave for 1 minute, but it needs to be between 90 and 115 degrees. Next, I'm going to add 5 teaspoons of sugar. And to that, I'm adding 1 tablespoon of yeast. This is instant yeast. Stir it in, and I'm going to set a timer for 10 minutes. It's been 10 minutes. Look at all the carbon dioxide bubbles. I will add some oil, 1 tablespoon of oil. And next, I'll be adding 3 1/2 cups of bread flour. And finally, I'm going to sprinkle on top 1 1/2 teaspoons of salt. And now I'm going to mix this together. I'll start this on low until things have started to mix in together. And in about 30 seconds to a minute, I'll turn it on the next higher level speed, and I will set it for 8 minutes. The dough is perfect this time. It's not sticky. It's exactly what it's supposed to be. If it sticks on the side of the bowl or the bottom of the bowl, you just add 1 teaspoon of flour and let it knead it a little bit more, and then you may need to add a little bit more until it's like this. I shaped the dough into a 6 by 8 inch rectangle. I'm going to put it in the oven for its first 20-minute rise. When I do that, I will dampen a towel and I'll place it in the microwave for 30 seconds to warm it up. During that time, I will turn the oven on to 350 degrees, and I'll let it be 350 degrees for about 1 minute. And then I'll take the towel out, put the towel on top of this, turn the oven off, turn the oven light on, and place this in the oven for 20 minutes. It's blueberry season at my house. It's July. I start picking in June, but it really takes off in July. Let's look at my berries. I picked these yesterday. These are thornless blackberries. Look how big they are. Beautiful. Once you pick them, they don't turn dark. They stay the same color, so I can throw them right in the freezer or I can use them. On the other hand, look at these blueberries I picked. This is half the blueberries I picked yesterday, but I let them sit overnight and they turn blue, and then I can use them. So I'm going to use 2 cups of these in the recipe today. Now I'm going to make the blueberry mixture that will go into the dough. I have 2 cups of blueberries, or 1 pint. Pour them in here. I took the stems off, and then I have 1 cup of white granulated sugar. And I've got a spoon. I'm going to stir this in. And I'm now going to put in 1 tablespoon of vanilla flavoring. I'll mix this together very well, and this is what I'll put into each one of the dessert rolls. It's been 20 minutes, and I took the dough out of the oven after the first rise. Let's look at it. Wow, it's doubled in size, and it's perfect. I made it oblong like this because it will be easier to shape. I'm going to put some flour on top before I remove it. I'm going to take it and I'm going to put it on this piece of plastic. I like this because it is 12 by 18 inches, exactly the size that I need to be able to form the dough into the shape it needs to be. So I'm going to take this off of here and I'm going to place it on the upside down. So I've got flour. I'm going to flour this here. I like to flour it a good bit. And then I'm going to pull it out and I'm going to be shaping it into the shape it needs to be. So see how easy it is to pull? I want to push down and get some of the bubbles out. Since it's risen, it's got a lot of bubbles in it. So I'm going to be working with that. But ultimately, my goal is to spread it out to fill this whole sheet out. Okay, and I like to sometimes I like to go around the edges here because the edges are kind of thick. This kind of thins it out just a little bit, but makes the dough wider and longer, so you can kind of see how this is. So I'm just going to kind of shape it. You can use a rolling pin if you want to do it also. But right now I'm just pulling it out to the size it needs to be. Okay, I got the dough shaped the way I want it to be. And now I'm going to cut it into 24 pieces. And to do that, I'm going to cut halfway through here at the 6-inch mark. Then I'm going to cut halfway through this one. And halfway through this one. Now I'm going to cut this down the middle. And I'm going to cut these into thirds. Each one of these sides into thirds. Here are the 24 slices, and I'm going to fill each one of the slices with 1 tablespoon of blueberry mixture. Now I'm going to make the dessert rolls. So I take a piece of dough and I stretch it like this. I just pull it and stretch it, and it's a square. Then I take a tablespoon of the blueberry mixture, and then I put the blueberry mixture in here, and then I fold the top up and I pinch it. I pinch this side up here, I pinch this side, and I go down to each one of the edges and I pinch these edges in like this. So very little can escape. Okay, I made the dessert roll, and I'm going to place it in a 9 by 13 greased pan, and it will hold all 24. I'm going to take a piece of dough and I'm going to stretch it in my hands like this to pull it out a little bit. You don't want to get it too thin. You do want to make it a little bit larger than it is. And then I'm going to take a tablespoon of blueberries. I'm going to place a tablespoon of blueberries in the center. Now I'm going to pull this side up. Now pull this side up and this side up. And now I'm going to go in and squeeze the sides like that. I'm going to squeeze each one of these. I'm gonna turn it over, kind of square it up, and I'm gonna place it in the pan. The last 6 or 8 pieces of dough, I go ahead and do them all because I have this much blueberries left, and I want to make sure I don't run out. And so I put the mixture on each one of these. And make sure I use every bit of the blueberry mixture on these. I should have enough, but I don't want to run out, and I don't want to have too much. So I want to make sure it's perfect, and so I will fill each one of these up and use all the blueberries. I've made the 24 blueberry dessert rolls, and now I'm ready to put them in for a second rise. I've got a towel I'm gonna put in the microwave for 30 seconds. And I'm gonna turn the oven on to bake to 350 degrees while the towel is microwaving. I warmed the towel for 30 seconds, and now I'm gonna put it on the blueberry dessert rolls. I'm gonna put it in a warm oven for 20 minutes. After the second rise, I'm gonna put on some butter, a whole stick of butter or 1/2 cup of butter. And then after that, I'm gonna put some sugar. It's going to be a kind of a coarse ground sugar. I'm using this sugar right here, but you can use any kind of coarse ground sugar. In fact, you could use colored sugar if you're doing it for a holiday. I just took the dessert rolls out of the oven. Let's look at them. They've increased in size, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to brush on 1 stick of butter. And now I'm going to sprinkle on the top about 2 tablespoons of the coarse ground sugar. I preheated the oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'll bake this for 30 minutes. I just pulled the blueberry dessert rolls out of the oven. Let's look at them. Wow, isn't that beautiful? You can see how they rose to the very top of the pan. They are perfect. I can't wait to open one up to show you the goodness that's inside it. Now it's time for me to try my blueberry dessert roll. It's delicious. It's got a lot of blueberries in it. One of my favorite parts of it is the crunch that's on the top. That sugar, it's very good. You need to try it. It's kind of like a blueberry cobbler in your hand. Very good.
Thank you so much for watching today. If you haven't subscribed, please be sure to do so. And if you enjoyed the video, be sure to give us a thumbs up, comment below, and we will see you with our next video. See ya.